Hello, hello, welcome back to Ravenport. I'm at Man82. I'm joining Squirrely. Hello, Squirrely.
Hello.
He's a squirrely one. He's dancing all over the place. And we got a Rick. There's a Rick. Where is the Rick? There's
I'm
Rick.
coming.
Ah, see him on hippity hoppity. He's coming around the corner. Coming around the bend. Oh, see it. Oh, and he's got a tractor with a big tipper. Stand in the road. Will he stop? I'm not trusting him. Crazy and not stupid. All right, so today we've got, what do we got? We've got a weeding contract on Blue Farm to do Field 4, and then I'll switch over to give you guys a hand on Purple Farm. You've got the sugar beet contract on Field 2, up in the northwest, and seeding on Field 12. Once kind of decide what to seed there. So lots our day. I'll go over here, and that way I can watch. I'm working away. So we've added some mods and removed some mods. We had the manners mod and it was broken, not even working, so we got rid of that. And a couple other things, couple Ursus baling equipment things, and that there was a cheaty seed runner. I got rid of that. I didn't even know we had it. Oh well. So let me see. We updated our manure trading system, which we haven't really used yet, which we can actually now. We've got the equipment big enough now we could buy manure and spread it if we wished. And after we cleaned out Green Farm, which wouldn't take long. What else? Oh, added this thing goes on the front of a tractor on the 3-point. It's got like augers in it, so you could use it in a silage bunker on the front of a tractor with the trailer on the back, and it would just basically pick it up and spit it out the chute into the trailer behind you. That was pretty neat. Our fuel trailer, I got an update for that, or not an update, but a replacement. It's a service trailer, so then we can service vehicles as well as fuel them. So that'll be handy. What else do we get? A bale sell point. So we'll build that up here, up in the top somewhere. Maybe stick it on the corner of Field 8. Want to buy that or something? I don't know.
I put it by the BGA.
Yeah, maybe
There's
put
that.
it at the BGA. Yeah, that's a good spot.
There's that spot across the road from. There's that hill there.
As long as it's owned, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that'll be the bale sell point up top, so we don't have to go down to that darn barn all the time. And those root crop storage from Dogface, there was the person who made it, but we brought those root crop storages back, so that'll be for potatoes and sugar beets. I don't think they'll do sugar cane, will they? Don't think.
No.
I don't know what to use for storage for those. We haven't run into that yet because we haven't done any sugar cane yet. Doesn't really look the climate for it, does it? Wouldn't mind. The map from 17, there was the Spanish one. I can't remember what the name of it was, but I saw somebody had brought that up to 19, so I'm kind of tempted to try that one out at some point.
Giants did.
Oh, did they? Okay. I never did that, and I never tried the sugar cane harvesting on that. So maybe we'll think about that one. How the heck can you see? It's pretty hard to see where you weeded on these fields. Want to grow in some plants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's the dummy went and got this? Oh wait, that was me. That was me. I'm the dummy. Alright, well that pretty much brings us up to date on the mods. I think we'll try and add a mod or two each week. Maybe not the biggest mods, just because we still can't afford it, but there are definitely things that I would like to add. Want to get more of this, we used to do seed production and fuel production and all that stuff, so I wouldn't mind doing that again. It got a bit tedious though, so we'll see.
Yeah, but it kept you busy.
That is true. I'm finding
See, we can do that now. There's enough manure at Green Farm to do quite a bit of seed production now.
Yeah, and maybe get some greenhouses going over there to offset their costs, keep the firm solvent. Cause we have to keep switching over and trying to keep ahead. It's a couple $1,000s a day on the loan. I think it's less now because we paid it down some. But a max loan is over $2,000 a day just on the loan payments, or on the interest payments. That's not even paying down the loan. Oh well. So it wouldn't take much to. It wouldn't take much stuff to keep ahead of that. What else would we get? Anybody seen any neat mods that were like, oh, that would be great in multiplayer? Bale picker upper. Nope.
Yeah, we've seen lots of them that would be great in multiplayer if they worked in multiplayer.
That's right. Yeah.
There's that passenger mod now.
Yeah, I saw that. You linked it to me. I looked at it and was like, I haven't seen us trying to get in the same vehicles. But yeah, when I'm doing recording, for instance, I could always then just tab over and pop into what vehicle you guys are working on and say hello and see.
Yeah.
Basically, just sit there and let you drive around, and I'll just sit back and watch and do neat camera shots. There you go.
Well, that was kind of like what we had in the last one. For 17, there was that one where you could see the other person's view.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. It's too bad you can't get like a drone or something so you could fly around, and I can't even tell.
That's where you need the helicopter mod.
Yeah, I'm sure that'd go well. I've seen how we drive.
Well, there's no trees up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no trees to run into.
Power lines.
Windmills.
Go a little higher.
Satellites. Not that high. Am I getting this? Yeah.
Of course, they say it's not really the flying that's the issue, it's the landing.
The crashing and the burning. Yeah, they're less than ideal for landing. Yep. My gosh, some hurricane. I'm from Nova Scotia, and today, this is Saturday when we're recording this, so the hurricane is landed right now. My friends are, power is out, and trees are coming down on people's stuff, and it's really windy and rainy. Nowhere's near what happened in Bahamas, though. Oh my gosh, that is not good. I saw, apparently, and I didn't go and do the research on this myself, but I had read that Carnival, the cruise ship line, that when something like this happens, they pull up their cruise ships and use them for aid. So I thought that was pretty cool, and they should all be doing that since they're down there making money off them all the time. That, when something like this happens, bring those cruise ships back, and they're basically a place to stay and get a roof over your head, even briefly, just to kind of get your wits back together and before you go and try and rebuild, clean up and rebuild. There's so much to do. It's gonna be a whole lot of effort, and the thing is, you get all rebuilt, and then 2 years later, another one will come through. So what do you do? A lot of people wondering whether or not they want to live there or not, but it's pretty hard to move too. Pretty hard to sell your house when it's been flattened. Yeah, not a good time for a lot of people. Well, here you go. We're farming some sugar beets to feed them. Fuel their coffee.
Yeah.
Virtual beets. That field seemed so small when I looked at the contract, but you start harvesting it. It's not that small, is it?
No.
No. So we decided the southern fields, the ones down the hill there, we're basically leaving those, not doing them off screen. We're just kind of leaving them there so that when we're recording here and say, I don't know, suddenly Carl Vera joined in right now, this moment, then we could say, okay, well, here you go, pick a firm and then go and take one of those contracts, and there you go. So we're basically leaving those for that sort of thing. So that's why they're not getting done. That, and they're too cheap for us to care about most of the time. Well, hey, at least I'm honest, the boys. Oh, has anyone seen a mod that allows you to add the train back in so you can tab to it? Because, oh my gosh, so many times I'd use the train, except I don't want to go chase the thing down. But there's a storage, you know, the blue farm where we've been storing stuff. It's so easy, well, it would be so easy if we could just get in a train and move stuff to this other silo over here by Green Farm and use both of them. Just transfer back and forth with the train, but it's too much of a pain to go get the train. It's always in Spain, out on the plane. Okay, that was pretty awful. There we go. You guys better say something soon.
There's a switch to trains mod.
Oh. Really? And what does that do?
Yeah.
Does it do the job?
Adds a dedicated key binding to switch directly to trains.
Oh, neat. So it
works in multiplayer.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that solves it.
Yeah.
Keyword supposed to.
BTBT. Been there, done that.
Setting this.
Don't send it now. Last thing I want is some blooping thing showing up. Bloop. Get a bloop.
No.
Got a steam bloop.
That's on another. It's on my other computer, so I have to exit the game to download it and test it out.
Oh, good. Download and testing before heading it over to me is good. I like that.
Well, I'll load it up on my test server and make sure it does work. Yeah.
Oh, we've been trying to get a flat deck truck that you just drive up next to bales and you can scoop them onto it, but every attempt we've made, I think, has crashed the save game, is it not?
Yeah.
With every one of those mods we've tried.
Yeah. The auto load does not work well with multiplayer.
Yes, not happy.
I wonder what Giants did to change that. It worked fine in 17.
Well, there you go. There's the problem.
Yeah, they changed the scripts for 19.
Make it more mod friendly, you can tell.
Yeah.
Oh well. I'm looking forward to a new engine at some point. They just keep rebranding this one. A lot of people squawk every time. Oh, you haven't changed anything. It's just the looks or the map or something. All you've done is add some mods and a couple maps. But really hoping we see a new engine update here soon. Okay, a whole new engine would be nice, but considering they got to crowdsource their multiplayer server capability, I can't imagine them getting their own new engine for this. Prove me wrong, Giants. Prove me wrong. Please. Please. I don't know. Anyone know anything about game engines? What would make a good engine for Farm Sim? Definitely don't talk to UIG. They don't know anything about engines. Oh my god, what a mess that game was. What was it called? Professional Farmer? I can't remember. Was that it? I don't know. It was some train wreck where basically they had the dynamic ground, which was awesome, except it did not work very well. But it was a great idea. I hope FarmSim does something with that someday. Getting there. As it is when you're driving over plowed land now, you're wobbling all over the place, so that's getting better. Unless that's enhanced vehicle. I don't actually know.
No, that's part of the original game, or 19 anyway.
Yay for that. Gotta weed every little bit. Oh, it's a contract. Why am I bothering? Good enough is good enough for these guys. Yeah, there you go. Practice. How about just perfectionist? Can't help it. So we looked at a tractor. It was a Russian articulated one, 240 horsepower. This blue thing. But when I last looked at it was a while back, and I didn't have an update of it yet, so or I hadn't looked for an update, so it didn't get added in. But that would have been nice for doing the plowing, like contracts or whatever, using those plows, because it'll run the plow easily, and the tractor is fairly cheap, so the running cost isn't too high. But most importantly, it was 240 horsepower and running a plow that's 120. So there was none of this taking a while to get up to speed or losing speed on hills. It was just a beast hauling that plow around. So it kind of fits the bill. So we might have another look at that one. And being cheaper, we can actually afford to run them. But I think we're at the point now where we can afford to get some tractor mods in, and though to be honest, I haven't even used most of the tractors in this yet. So if you've played Farmsim to death, you get 1,000 hours in Farmsim, then you're probably looking for modded tractors. But only got a few hundred hours in, so I haven't used them all yet.
Well, sometimes it's a case of you find a tractor that you like and you just stick with it.
Mm.
That's another thing too. So, kind of don't want to venture out and buy a new one if you already got one that does everything that you need.
It's too bad the Schluter doesn't work anymore. Or it's not as good anymore. The Super, what was it, Super 8 or something? I forget what it was. Super something. The Schluter that we had in 13.
There's one on the Mud Hub.
Yeah, I know. I tried it before. It was, well, unless it's been updated or it's a different one. The one I tried was crap. I didn't really care for it. Sound was terrible, and I can't remember what else it was. I didn't really like it. But definitely looked at it and tried it, but sad face. Well, maybe it's a different one, so we'll have a look.
There's a 2500 VL out now.
2500 what?
VL.
Is that a Schluter? I have no idea.
It's 240 horsepower and 124,000 for it.
For 240 horsepower?
No. Max speed is 32 kilometers per hour.
Ugh. Ugh. So it's slow. Not all that cheap. Yeah. Sounds like it's not going to be on my Christmas list. Nope. I don't know about anybody else. I'm getting bored of weeding. What's going on over there at the Purple Farm? Oh, you getting bored of running this? We could switch, Squirrely.
You want me to take over the weeding contract for you?
No, that's fine.
You're almost done.
Almost done. I don't know. I didn't even look. What am I at? 40% is not almost done.
Well, it's better than 10%, right?
That is correct. Unless we're talking remaining, and then no, it isn't.
Yeah.
So we recorded the Minecraft earlier. I can't remember if I mentioned here about raccoons today. Have I mentioned that to you, Squirrely?
No.
All right. So last night there's a big rustling ruckus out in my my grapevines in the trellises, and went out, and the raccoons are in there. Little so-and-sos. So I had bear spray. And so I went and I barked at them and hollered and stamped my feet, and they just lost it. They panicked. So one of them I could see was clambering around on the trellis, and his butt was hanging out of the plant. So I could just see this gray furry butt sticking out. So I gave him a shot with the bear spray from about 2 feet away. So yeah, I don't know if he'll be back this season or not. I don't think he liked it. That burning sensation.
They just might be a little more cautious on who's around when he's there.
Yeah.
It generally takes a lot to deter them.
My neighbors will just shoot them. Well, they're just trying to do what they do. They're trying to eat, and I don't want to go kill a bunch of stuff for that. I mean, it'd be different if if I ate raccoon, that'd be another story, but just murdering them for doing what nature does. I don't know, I guess I'm too soft for that. I'm not that hungry. Wasps, on the other hand, I don't have a lot of sympathy for them. Having said that, though, they are allowed in the yard, just not allowed to build nests in the yard. But for foraging, it's great. They come in.
Which wasps are you referring to?
Yellow jackets, those little yellow jacket jerks. They're not allowed to nest in the yard, but they're allowed to come in and forage because they eat bugs, so eat all those aphids, as far as I'm concerned. If only raccoons ate aphids instead of my grapes. Jerks. Yeah, they've been in the apples. They just basically walking around my yard looking for things to eat.
They get the hungries.
Well, I deer-proof the yard, but I have not raccoon-proofed because I don't know if that's a thing that I could do without, building a bubble around my yard. Which I suppose, but kind of warm in summer. Darn raccoons. I suppose I could lie trap them. They don't actually, on my little island here, for a long time there weren't any raccoons, and then some swam over, I guess, and next thing you know we got lots of raccoons in the last few years. So, oh well. Better raccoons than bears. Where it used to live, that was a thing. Go out and chase the bears out of the composters. They're big furry jerks. I used raccoon spray on them. They laughed.
Yeah, chasing bears off is fine until they don't want to be chased.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing, they can scale a fence like the fence isn't even there. Like, they just, just scrabble right up and over like nothing. Something that big can move that fast, you know what, you can have the compost. Just put the lid on when you're done, would you? So the trick there is you don't put stuff out in the composter during the season when the bears are around feeding. Wait till they go to bed. Or have locking composters. Or I suppose you could dangle your composter from a tree so they couldn't get at it, but that's not very practical. And the neighbors look at you funny. My goodness, I didn't know it was going to take so long to do this field. Anybody sick of seeing this big green field yet? You were? Well, what are you watching Farm Sim for? Big green fields, that's at least half of Farm Sim right there. The other half is brown fields. Green and brown. Colors of the earth, right?
Yep.
I like using the weeder rather than the herbicide. I don't know, something bothers me about spraying stuff that kills plants on plants. I don't know. Maybe I'm not overthinking it. Can't be good for you to eat it. So we'll just take some hydraulic drippings off the tractor and a little bit of oil and diesel and yum yum.
Yep, it's all good.
You haven't eaten them before, I'm guessing. Not that good.
Yeah. Oh, I've had my fair share of that stuff. I remember what I did.
Mm-hmm. It's true. That fuel truck will eat fuel.
Yeah.
Hey, we have a spill, gotta clean it up somehow, and they won't give me any paper towel.
No, we got special rags for that.
Extra absorbent.
Yep. Yeah, soaks up oil but not water.
Oh, there's the way. That's the way. How the heck do they do that? Is it the size of the pores in the thing, or?
It's just, I think it's got a special coating on there that the water just, beads off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Neat. I hadn't heard of that before. That's neat.
Yeah, so if there's like a spill on a tank or something, you just wipe it down with that next time it rains and never know there was a spill there.
Mm-hmm. Get a diesel tank in my yard. It's in pretty good shape. A little bit dented from a tree falling on it, but other than that, it's in pretty good shape. It was a nice sunny, warm day when the tree fell on it. There might have been a chainsaw involved. I'm not gonna say, or I'm not gonna confirm or deny, but if I was, I would say yeah, it wasn't me though. Wasn't me. It's like that when I got there.
Bit of a whoopsie, was it?
It wasn't my whoopsie. Just one of those, you know, a cedar that splits and does its own thing, no matter what you're telling it to do.
You point it one direction, it goes the other.
Yeah, yeah. I hate cutting cedar.
I've seen them do that.
Cedar is pretty bad for barber chairing. That's where
I was gonna say.
It splits and gives you a kick. They're scary.
Your heart in your throat and a heartbeat.
It sure will. It's bad enough. The videos there did of that, the big Douglas firs next to those. That was bad enough. If they were cedar, I don't know. I think I would have hired somebody. That or just use the backhoe and push them over. Oh, I saw a picture, speaking of hurricane again, in Nova Scotia of somebody had parked their truck at the side of the street, and a big tree had uprooted and fallen over on the truck. And I was thinking, geez, yeah, put a sign on the truck. The firewood is already loaded, but you got to cut it. It just flattened the deck of that truck. Somebody's gonna have a big insurance claim on that one, because I don't think anyone's driving that after that. It was pretty flat right across the middle. It was right behind the cab of a pickup truck. So, and then the sides were just pushed right down, and the thing looked like a low rider with a big tree sitting on it. It was about 1.5 foot diameter tree, probably oak tree or something. It was hardwood. All right, after this pass, I think I'm gonna go on a little drive-a-boot and see what everybody's doing, and then we'll wrap things up. Up and down this field the rest of the day, all the livelong day. Should have hired a worker. Then I could just zoom the camera around and look at stuff. I don't think the hired worker will lag you if you're sitting in the tractor, since it still acts as one person playing. Maybe.
Oh, there you go. You could get the passenger mod, have a hired worker, and sit there beside him and watch them.
That's right. That's a good
Make sure they're doing their job right.
But we won't. I'll just pretend it's me driving, and then I can take all these zoomy camera shots and roundabout camera shots, and still not run over my own crops at the end of the pass here. Alright, well, let's go have a lookie. Tuck my wings in. I'll have to come back and finish this. Oop, there's a train going by, and I see squirrelies munching along on the sugar beets. Where'd you go, Rick? Are you just gonna go back to tip them once in a while? Is that while you're seeding?
I'm not going to seed yet.
Oh, okay.
Waiting for the other fields to get at least one tick ahead.
Oh yeah. Just to see what they're going to plant?
Well, no, just so that everything's not going to have to do everything on the same day. Try to stagger the fields a little bit.
It should be a growth tick along any time because it was 11 a.m. I was like, whoa, geez, sorry, squirrely. It was 11 a.m. and I was like, well, I'll just speed up time and we'll get a growth tick, and then we can harvest 9, 10, and 11 on screen. But never got that growth tick, so nope. So it should be along any time now. So that's the Panther 2 harvester. Zoom it while it goes by. Whee! Wow! Big cat. Alright, well, we're going to wrap things up for today. So enjoy what you like today. Make sure you click that like button if you enjoy what you like. Enjoy what you saw. And we'll go through and we'll say, Squirrel, you want to start us off with the
Have
thing?
a good one.
Go ahead, Rick.
See you later, folks.
And we'll see you next time. Bye for now.